My album's out. If you're watching this, you probably know who I am, and if you're not, why is this the first video you're watching? But if you do know me, you'll probably know that my debut album just came out. It's really fun, go listen to it. And I'm gonna be answering questions that you, that's right, you asked about it. No, I can't see anything. All right, that's better, let's go. What was the easiest and hardest song to write / produce, and why? Easiest song to write and produce was Smudge. I wrote and produced it, actually, all in a single, very bad day. Hardest to write was Masquerade. For some reason, I just could not get the chorus right for the longest time. It was actually the last song to be finished writing of the whole album. The hardest to produce was probably Movies, just because it was a different production than almost the entire rest of the album. It was a lot more of like a pop style song than the rest of them, so that was kind of new territory, and that was kind of hard. Did you ever have moments of doubt while recording the album? Have you listened to my lyrics? Yes, of course I had doubt. I think the biggest doubt that I had was the second half of the album, because it was a bit of a jarring tone shift from like the heavier indie rock. Not only was it a jarring switch from the first half of the album, it's a jarring switch from I think everything that I've done before. So I was kind of worried how that might be received. Nightlight is on the track list where it is to kind of serve as a bridge between kind of the heavier songs on the album and then like the lighter and then more like lyrical songs. So that was kind of there as like a little bit of a transition, but I was still kind of worried about how that might be received. What's the story behind the album cover? I find it intriguing. Sorry to disappoint, but there's not much of a story. It's a candid picture that my friends took of their camp counselor on a bus ride to summer camp. And they joked about how good of a picture it was, and they were like, oh, that would be a great album cover. So when it came time for me designing the album cover for it, I was like, I guess I'll actually use that. I'm sorry if that's underwhelming. There's not much thought behind it. It's just a cool picture. Limes? No. Never limes. Only lemons. Who were your main influences during the writing of the album? The two that really stick out to me are James Marriott and Foo Fighters. But I wouldn't even really say that I could point to a lot of places where I'm like, oh yeah, this is that or this is that. They were very much in the back of my mind when creating the album, but really when I write music, I just write the music that I want to listen to, and occasionally it finds people that also want to listen to that. We all were picking our favorites, but what was your favorite song? Both to produce and then the final products. Puncture is the answer to both of those. Puncture was the only song that didn't have like any sort of problems with the production or the lyric writing process. It really just happened very naturally, and that was kind of refreshing, especially compared to how long the journey some of the songs took to get to where they are now. Alright, now the fun part where I have to be even more vulnerable on camera. How do you write good lyrics? I struggle so much with it. Most of what I write comes from personal experience, but actually turning them into good lyrics is a matter of figuring out how to say what you want to say in a better way. Hey, that rhymed. For example, there's 1,000 different ways to say, I'm sad. And writing good lyrics is a matter of figuring out the best way to say that fits your song and your melody. Metathesis phobia? What? Huh? You are thinking of? And that is the fear of change. From Debris. You're not unseen, oh please don't leave me with your debris. And I'm very curious as to what the whole of verse 2 means. Debris as a whole is about my parents' failing marriage and my fear that it would affect my own relationship and the worry that my relationship might turn out like theirs. You're not unseen is me kind of saying, hey, I know what's happening as much as you may try and hide it, and asking them not to leave me with your debris, saying, hey, please, just don't let this affect me. Alright, let's look at verse 2. Is this the way it ends, sleeping 2 floors apart, animosity and resentment, empty eyes and empty arms? I thank God every day for giving me so much to lose. I can't let this be my fate. I'd throw myself off the roof. Is this the way it ends, sleeping 2 floors apart? My parents sleep separated. My mom sleeps upstairs and my dad sleeps in the basement. Animosity and resentment, empty eyes and empty arms. That's what their relationship is. Thanking God every day for giving me so much to lose is being thankful that I do have my own relationship, but still saying that I can't let what happened to my parents happen to me. Last one for Debris, when life gives you lemons, don't throw them away. I wanted to end off the song, and the album really, with a positive reminder to not take for granted the good things that life gives you. No matter what's happening in your life, there's always something to be thankful for. You still have breath in your lungs, you still have a reason to be on this planet, no matter how bad things seem. I wanted to kind of capture that in a lyric, and especially the one to end off the album. From Masquerade, say hi to Bloody Mary, I know you've met before, thought you left her dead and buried, but now you're back for more. Masquerade as a whole is about not being able to let go of vices. It's specifically written from the lens of alcoholism, but it can really be about anything. But playing off of the alcoholism aspect, the two lines that begin verse 2 are both plays on words of alcoholic drinks. Take a trip to Manhattan, Manhattan's an alcoholic drink, as is Bloody Mary. But specifically for that line, you know, calling someone who's alcoholic and is now going back to their vice, you know they've met before and they thought they left their vice in the past. They thought they left it dead and buried, and now they're, you know, back where they were. I've never struggled with alcoholism. I just wrote the lyrics for fun, and I think they turned out pretty good. Masquerade is, I think, the song I'm most proud of lyrically. Finally, for Cry Yourself to Sleep. Cry yourself to sleep, blame it all on empty cans and TV screens, wipe your mouth on your shirt because the alternative's far, far worse, and make it to the end of the week. Cry Yourself to Sleep is about pushing through hard circumstances and figuring out ways to manage your pain. Blame it all on empty cans and TV screens is kind of referring to the people who blame their bad circumstances on the unhealthy things that they turn to. Crying yourself to sleep and just making it to the end of the week that's just a way to get through. Just get through one more day. Make it to the end of the week, make it to the weekend, make it through the hard week, make it through whatever you're going through. A lot of times when you cry, you end up, drooling, so you need to wipe your mouth on your shirt, because the alternative of wiping your mouth on is, well... Wow. That's it. Thank you so much for listening to Momentary Lemons. If you haven't, listen. It really does mean a lot to me. And if you're new, subscribe. I hope to have you along for the next ride. See ya.